Hi. I've been asked by some friends in Mexico if I can record a little video to talk about how the couples retreats came into being and the focus of Couples One in particular to support people in deciding whether or not to participate and to take their relationship on. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk a little bit about the couples retreat. Uh, I designed the retreats about 5 years ago, and the purpose was really, I noticed in my own relationship, a challenge being responsible, not blaming my partner in an argument, not pointing fingers or looking outside of myself. Instead of looking at myself, or how was I generating what was occurring? How was I generating how my partner was being? And so I began to read a lot of material. I also had gone back to school for marriage and family therapy. And in becoming a marriage and family therapist, I noticed I was frustrated by therapy and how it seemed that it was too slow, that sometimes it was plodding. And a lot of the material was great, but that it was not so interactive or involving. And so then I wanted to take a hybrid of marriage and family therapy and transformation, getting people engaged in their own process and more active role. And I wrote the couples retreats. And Couples One is designed really, a lot of it is based on the work of Harville Hendrix, who I think is amazing, and focusing on how come I generated the person I did. I'm sure, I don't know, I definitely wondered, how did I create my husband? How did I generate this person of all the people that could have come into my life? Why this one? And so Harville Hendrix's work focuses on how we are playing out patterns with our partner that are patterns from our childhood. And unless we become aware, we're just going to end up recreating some of the patterns that were not so hot in our childhood in our partner. And so I took Hendrix's work and brought it alive, not just through some journaling around his workbook, which is fantastic. And I think in people having a workbook when they leave the retreat, they can refer back to things. They can look again and read what they wrote and remind themselves of what opened up. And then I took some of Hendrix's work and brought it alive through exercises that are safe and fun, and all the exercises are with your partner, that you have a chance to really see, how is it that I generated this person? And then experientially bringing alive, now that I know that conceptually, some of the things about my partner and how I'm generating the same thing again from my childhood, how do I have compassion for my partner? How do I respond with compassion, knowing why they are acting a certain way or responding terse at times, so that that clicks in an argument, that I don't get hooked into the dance, as Sue Johnson says from Hold Me Tight and Emotionally Focused Therapy. And then in addition, Couples One also focuses on, where's your vision for your partnership going? Where do you envision yourselves 5 years? What do you dream of if you had no limitations? What would your passion be like? Your sexual activity? How do you listen to each other? How are days spent that you feel connected, available? And there's a lot of bringing vision alive. And then how is it what do we agree on with our vision, and where are there discrepancies? How do we work through those? And then there's a huge, incredibly valuable process that I learn from every single time I do the couples retreat, where you get a chance to see, how do you fight when you argue with each other, and get feedback from people on how does an argument show up. And then you learn fair fighting. You learn how to be with each other so that in an argument, you don't say things that you'll regret, or you don't behave in ways that later are hurtful, and that you learn forwarding techniques for an argument so that you can actually get closer to each other and feel more connected and more available. to each other, and how to really listen each other very well. And then in couples one, there's a chance to really open up vulnerability, intimacy, and authenticity at a level that I think is challenging for a lot of people. And it gets the greatest feedback after the training that even if it was challenging or hard, what was created was real authenticity, taking down masks that we thought we needed to wear. Or what if my partner knew this? I think of it that if I were to die, I would want my husband to know everything about me, that there were no surprises. There was no somebody else who knew me better than him, or something he found out after my funeral. That really we know everything out about our past. And a big distinction of transformation is our past does not define the future. So we know everything about our past and why we did what we did, what we were thinking at the time, how we've grown. And then we've used that as a chance to get closer to each other instead of farther away, that we continue to open up intimacy around the future, using the past to jump from. It doesn't define us. And that we know that we have nothing to hide with our partner. This is the person that we get to be most revealed with, most intimate, most treasured and compassionate with. So that's a little bit about what the couples retreat is like. It's safe. No exercises are too big or scary, or there's a chance I'm available at all times. There's other support staff available. And all the processes are done with each other. And there's homework each night so that you go to your own room, and things that are very intimate, you're done in the privacy of your own room. And if you get stuck, you have available coaching. And I've really, really been so inspired to see what's created. There have been couples that were married for, over 30 years and created for the first time real intimacy and availability. And I think of a couple now that they have a date on Monday mornings that's all theirs, and they're in their 60s, and they have passionate sex and are available and turn their phones off, and this they never thought was possible in their relationship. I think of another couple that they had been married over 20 years, and a lot of sarcastic behavior and jabs at each other, and then at the retreat they opened up just deep authenticity and appreciation, and went into therapy afterwards after they did the retreats, and now have a genuine relationship, and they go on weekly dates, and they're really connected and available. I know couples who've come to the retreat that have been on the verge of a divorce or planning to divorce, and they came because they wanted to learn, why did they get into the patterns that they did with their partner. And then how do I not recreate that again with my next partner? Because unless we learn, the likelihood is that we're going to. And then there have been couples who've been deciding whether or not they'll get a divorce, and some that have followed through with a divorce, and some that have stayed together and begun anew. I have no agenda for what people generate out of the retreat, other than that they learn and grow and see their patterns, and that they use the work in whatever relationship they're committed to, so that they continue to learn and use what they learn so that they can stay from hurting each other. Because I know ultimately we chose the person we chose because we love them and we wanted to be closer. And I have a personal belief that love does not end. Love may change forms and grow into something else, but it does not end. And so how do we continue to love each other even though it may change form, or even though there may be upset or hurt? And that really was the thinking behind Couples One. And then gratefully, because of the demand of people after they saw what could be possible in their relationship, I wrote a second level retreat and a third level 3-month practice with coaching. How do we continue to learn what we opened up in the retreats? I will probably do one of these about couples too, so it answers some questions. Please post any questions. email me any questions if you want to, if you are considering attending and you want a conversation with me about your partnership, about where you are. I am more than happy to do so. I'm passionate about this work and what is possible. So email me, Facebook me, tweet me, whatever, and let's create authentic, honest, deep, amazing partnerships. Thanks. Have a great day.